Hello. Hello, everybody. It's book club time. Hold on. I have so many notes. Come on in here, people. Get in here now. Class is starting.
Oh, here. You said come in here. I started coming in.
I know. I'm here. You got wines in hand. That's funny. I'm live. Did you know that?
Yeah, I just wanted to read the motivational quote of the day.
Oh, okay. My daughter just comes in.
You said come in.
That is true. I did. Hey, Earth. Oh, fairy dust. You're so sweet.
Can I tell everyone the quote of the day?
No, you can't. We'll talk about it later. Sorry I had to move this from yesterday, but if y'all saw, baby, it was my grandmother's 101st birthday. So nothing, hey, Miss Christie, nothing comes before my queen. Hey, Steve Yoakum. So I had dinner with my queen last night. And then I spent some time today with Mr. Harry, Mr. Prince Harry. I'm really loving this book. I am loving it. I made a lot of like a lot of pages. This is how I do. I know, right? My queen. Hey, Lindy. Now I'm going to put the link out. If you want to talk about the book, if you want to talk about Prince Harry, all opinions are welcome, but you got to give me an opinion. All right? Because I know there are such vastly different opinions from here, there, and everywhere. So I hope some of you have got the Hey Irish baby, got the book, have gotten a chance to read a little bit of the book, or just come here to hear about it, and maybe you'll want to buy it. It's or whatever. It's full of I think maybe he was such a this. I think this is why I am having such a profound reaction to this boy. Is that I was that boy. Now my mom didn't die, but troubled, not really kind of just ignoring reality. This, Harry is from the moment his mother died. Hey, Susie, yay! From the moment that his mother died, he has been basically in denial and calls it her disappearance. And right now he's just completed his basic training. This is where I am now. If y'all not there yet, he has just finished his basic training for the Army. He was getting ready to be deployed, and because the press kept on reporting that he was being deployed, every single militant in Iraq, they never lose hope. Every single militant in Iraq wanted him. They wanted his blood spilled in their deserts. They handed around his picture to all of their snipers. So he's getting ready to go lead his band of soldiers into this free side, into this war in Iraq. And the head of the military said, "We can't send you. Hey, Sassy, you're too dangerous. You're a bullet magnet." Hey, Hazel. So he became like a detriment, that if anybody that he was standing beside in Iraq and they missed Harry, they'd have got, so he's right now, he's in the throes of some very depressed about it. Yeah, he put, yeah, I mean, listen, Lindy, what I understood was that all of the royal family has got to serve in the military in some capacity. I think even Anne in some way did it. I know we know Charles did it and failed miserably. He wasn't really the soldier type at all, but he was the future king. So I mean, they kind of ushered him through. We know Andrew. He flew a mission in Grenada. Edward. I can't remember if Edward did or not. I can't remember. But I think Prince Philip, I don't know if that was his thing or if that was the nation's thing where you have to serve. Yeah, but he did. He made it. Well, yeah, he did. No, he did. Just him. Yeah, I thought they did. Now, listen, please, if y'all want to come up here, no, hey, Sage, you have an opinion, share it. I think last week we got into a little trouble because we didn't understand. Randy is spending time with her grandson, so that is the most important time. She is spending time with that baby. So I said, absolutely, that's the most important minutes you could share because they go by so quick. But I think we weren't understanding why everybody was so angry, and we were kind of flippant about it. We were very flippant, and because we just didn't understand. And now, I'm reading like the way the press, which we saw it with his mother. We saw he's talking about him. So with William, I guess it's also huge, or was huge. I'll tell you who made it. I'll tell you who made an appearance in this book. Oh, girls and boys. When was it? Let me see. I have it written down. January 2002, Kate makes her appearance as Will's girlfriend. It's a long ass time to be. I know they dated her forever, but yeah, January 2002, Kate enters the picture. And I know people are going to get angry with me. I don't hope anyway, but it seems like even up until all of this started happening with Megan, I think he and Kate were pretty close. He says in the book how he loved to make her laugh. Her laugh was just, great. So I'm so on the. I cannot imagine every single thing that you do being photographed. I cannot imagine you can't even walk into a store or whatever. Now, did Harry make a lot of really bad decisions? Oh, yes. But most kids do. Most kids do. Ours just isn't on every newspaper in the UK and elsewhere. So, he made some really good, whopping, horrible decisions. That rat. We haven't gotten to Megan yet in it. What I am happy about, though, is I had a very low opinion of William and Charles after the forward of the book because it seemed like they were like just not caring about what dangers Harry perceived, whether they were true or not. He perceived them. I haven't gotten to that part, Lindy. I haven't gotten to that part of him actually. He's not there yet. He has been told he couldn't go. Then he went back to like Botswana, which is a very special place to both William and Harry. And he's now just showed back up at his commanding officer saying, y'all, you got to do something with me because I can't just float around with nothing to do. Hey, you seeing this shit? I am seeing very bad decisions made. I'm seeing what I am happy that I'm seeing, and like I said, my opinion that forward of that book was so upsetting to me when William, he describes William and Charles, who are usually arguing on different sides of an issue, walk in unison towards him in that garden, almost touching like they're one whole thing. and then them saying that they really just didn't understand why he had to go. So that's where I was. I entered the book there, not very happy with either one of them. And then we got to Eton, right when Harry finally entered Eton, and William said, "You don't know me, and I don't know you." I thought that was horrible. So let me finish. Let me finish. So that my opinion of William kind of dropped, but he was a child. I have to keep reminding myself that when I'm reading this book, William was a child. And not many bigger brothers, little brothers, whatever, want to be. They fight. I mean, these two fought like cats and dogs. That's what brothers do. And I had to keep reminding myself, William was a child. And so when he says, "You don't know me, I don't know you," I thought it was cruel, but I don't, William had his own reasons for doing that. And if he ever writes a book, we'll know, but I don't think he will. But, they came through it okay. Now, what I'm happy about is that after Eton, they start to get closer. There's actually a part in the book where, let me see if I wrote down the pages. Oh, all right. We'll talk about that in a minute. Hold on. Let me make a note. Because all I did was put down page numbers because I thought I'd remember it. But yeah, Hazel, Lindy, I just had to keep reminding myself that. My opinion of Prince Charles, I think he adores those boys, obviously. When he calls Harry darling boy. And I see it. I see it. He is devoted. I think he is absolutely devoted. Listen, this got being a single parent obviously got thrown on him like a boulder, right? And welcome back, Nate. Being a single parent got tossed on him like a boulder. And was he equipped? Well, he became equipped, didn't he? Because these boys adore him. So, he did something right. So he dropped Harry off, for basic training. And when Harry would have a problem, he'd call him, and his daddy would say either ignore it or like with the drugs. Hey, Quinny, my love, this is Harry. Yes. When they found out that Harry was smoking pot at Eton, and it came through Marco, which, if y'all don't know, if you haven't read the book yet, Marco is like their handler. Let's put a handler. He is their day-to-day big brother, protector, advice giver, and whatnot. And he seemed to love those boys very much as well. Well, and Lindy, are you reading the book? And I'll tell you why I'm asking. Yeah, he is, though. Again, my opinion, he calls his dad a lot, especially when he really F's up, right? And his dad is always, he said, thoughtful, supportive, either says ignore it or, hey, sweet crazy, sorry. When they found out Harry was doing drugs, he denied it. Hey, Tally, my love. He completely denied he was doing it. He was lying through his teeth. And Charles was very kind of concerned and sent him to, the editor that had him, there's an editor, a woman. And in the book, Harry said her name sounds like blah, blah. I don't know who she is. She's obviously from a paper, though. And she was going to put it on the front page that Harry was on drugs. And so what Charles worked out was, we're going to hit it head on. Even though Harry said that she was lying, she wasn't. He in the book said, I lied like a rug. He had him go not to a rehab, but hey, Brenda, but to a kind of a rehab for, I guess, highly visible children. And, it didn't work. But then there was another editor that had a photograph of him doing cocaine. And he got called into the not Marco's office, but to another. Sky News this morning, Austria, she wrote, Harry. She asked about him one and then said he doesn't know him. Well, and when we get through, right now, he's probably around 20, 21 in age. So I haven't gotten there yet. Obviously, I don't know. We'll find out. We'll all find out together. Then, all right, so this editor said, listen, I've got a picture of him snorting cocaine. And comes Marco and asked Harry, is this true? Absolutely not. This was another editor, not the woman. He said, if you just meet with him, Harry, so he can tell you the effects that these drugs have on you and how serious these drugs are, he will burn the photograph. And Harry said, no, make him produce it, which he could have done. He had it. It was true, and that was playing wild and loose. The man never did, though. The man never did publish it. So I really think that one maybe was really cared about Harry as a person, or maybe not. I don't know. But yeah, so we're getting a lot of wine. And I will say this right now, from her death, because it goes from the meeting at Frogmore after Prince Philip's funeral straight to his father telling him about his mother dying. And up to that, every once in a while, that's the thing, Lindy, we don't know if it's true. If that, I know that there are a lot of people that have said, Eden, that a lot of this is a lie. I don't know. I mean, here's Nene. What would happen though, for Harry, and Harry was not a student, right? He wasn't a good student. William was a very good student. Harry just was not. He was not gifted in that way. So there was a history teacher. I don't think maybe this wasn't Eton. This probably was his school before Eton. And the history teacher would get so angry because Harry didn't know his family. He didn't know that his 37th, back, he didn't know it. And I guess the teacher just, I don't know if that teacher thought that Granny took him for, and here's your 17th grandfather. If they just went around the palace looking at photos and learning about everybody, which they didn't. And so even Harry, after a while, said, you're just embarrassing me for no reason. I don't understand why you're embarrassing me. So what the history teacher did was give him a ruler, like a ruler, and it had every ruler, king, queen, on it. And it was not a shitty gift. It was, here you go. Put this in front of you, and you'll get an idea of what we're talking about. So, yeah, that worked out well for him. There was a story that he told about being at, I think, Balmoral. This was before his great-grandmother died and Margaret died. And he had decided to drink gin, and because all of them were having gin and tonic or whatever. So he was about 15 or so, and he got a drink. And he sat beside his great-grandmother, the Queen Mother, and just made her laugh all night, just made her laugh. And he said that it felt like for once he was part of the family. And that he wished he would, and I think we all do this, your grandparents passed, you wished you'd have asked them more questions. You wished you'd have paid a little bit more attention to the story they told, maybe they've told it 100 times, and you have toned it out, and you wish you could just sit back. I find that that's the way I'm now with my grandmother. who's 101, and every story she's ever told me, I'm getting her to tell me again so I can hear it as an adult, because I heard it as a child, or hear the story as a settled adult, not one, not in your 20s. Hey, Rain, not in your 20s or 30, 20s you're hectic and you're making mistakes. In the 30s, you're trying to fix the mistakes you made in your 20s. 40s and 50s, you kind of just, you get to sit back a little bit and get it. So I thought that was a sweet story. And then there was a story, let me see if I can find it, of him and William discussing the possibility that their mother was gone. And oddly enough, and again, we don't know if this is true. Yeah, get those stories, Hazel, get the stories. Start reading her stories. Oh, I really should, Susan, because like I said, it's ones that hey, Annabella, you've heard all your life, and then you just kind of forget them. Hey, Marie. But there is a chapter in here where him and William are talking about Diana being missing or have disappeared. And William is very gently, and they were small, very gently trying to persuade Harry that she wouldn't have done that to them. Harry, Harry, now she might be just hiding somewhere, but think about it. Do you really think Mummy would do this to us? And Harry would answer, and because he's still in denial, and very, like I said, it was very gently that I guess William could see this is where he needed to be. This is where Harry needed to be right now. Harry needed to kind of believe it, but he said, then I think he said to Harry, basically, but she, but she's dead, and hey, Kathy, thank you. Yeah, and he thought she was hiding up until, in fact, they have just had the concert for the 10th anniversary of her death. William and Harry has just put it together. And even then, I don't know how much y'all have read, but he goes to Marco, who I love Marco. And he asks, no, he doesn't go to Marco. He goes to their second guy that was taking Marco's place. And he asked for the file on his mother's death. And the actual file, and the guy's like, I know, I see why you want it. I understand that you want to know. I just don't know if it's a good thing. So he did eventually, the guy went and got the file, but he took out a lot of photos that were in it. Some of the gorier ones, I suppose. So he gives it to Harry, and Harry goes into a room and he opens it up because he wants to feel this, right? He wants to get this out of the way. He wants to grieve for her. He hasn't cried yet. And he's trying to force it now because I think maybe it's holding him back in some ways. So he opens it up, and it's photos of the tunnel, different photos and different angles of the tunnel, photos inside the tunnel minus the car and all that. And then he flips through, and there's some more photos of the car that's in there. Let me keep going. I'll just keep going before I tell you. So he comes upon a photograph of Dodi Fayed, dead. I don't know what condition, he doesn't say. He finds a photo then of Diana's bodyguard. If y'all will remember, he was really very badly injured, like his face. He was very, very badly, but he survived. He looked at the driver. I think his name was Jean Paul. I know, no, Henry. I can't remember. And hold on. Oh, I need to bring a lozenge or something. Anyway, and then he gets to his mother. he gets the photos of his mother. And she was found in between the back seat, the back of the front seat and the back seat. She was in that little down in there, right? And he said that hey squirrel, every photograph that he flipped over, right, she was illuminated. Did you see the behavior panel speak? I didn't know. Link me, baby. The Sonic Ice. Actually, it's not Sonic Ice. It is yep. Zaxby's Ice. I love Zaxby's Ice. It's bigger, it's just bigger pieces of Sonic Ice. So he gets a picture of his mother, and he said every photo, she's just illuminated, right? There's a halo around her. And then he realized that the photos that were in that folder were taken by the paparazzi, not the police. And that it was just flashes. That's what the illuminating, around gave her a halo look. Because, and this didn't really help him that much. He said because her blazer was, she broke her arm, I think. I know she broke her arm. But the way she was in that back seat, he said her blazer was fine. There was no blood on her, which the paramedics have said that too. She was not hurt. You couldn't tell the arm, but she had no marks, no blood on her, no bruising, no anything. And they couldn't believe it when they got her to the hospital, how beautiful she stayed. So he's seeing all of this, right? And he's realizing that the press didn't help her at all. They just, like a pack of dogs, he said, went after her and finished her off. And how could you stand there and take a picture of someone dying? Especially the woman that's made you all this money that you have hounded forever. So it really didn't help him. I don't know what he thought he was going to find. I don't know if he thought it was going to be some gory, horrible scene, but I think it probably was with other people. But, I can't imagine. I can't imagine being either boy. I can't imagine having they let him alone while they were in school. Yeah, when he makes the connection, Susan, that wait a minute, these aren't police photos. These are from the day because the police got all their cameras, right? They weren't gonna make a dime off this. And he was realizing that all these people were taking a photograph of her dying. Now that upsets me, being a fan of hers and all that. I can't imagine it being my mother. It upset me to see them and to hear that they just let her. And he said I hope he thinks maybe the last thing she saw on earth was a flash. She did love her boys so much. And like I said last week, she was so young when she had those boys. She was so young. She was like 20 and 22 or something like that. So, and Harry, he's whining in here a little bit. I will say this. Now, I did hashtag him in case he wanted to come and talk. Harry, if you're out there, if you're one of the 43, Harry, take a link. Come on. But I see we can say that he's whining about his life. We can say that because they're not waiting outside of our door every day. They're not following us to Kroger. They're not taking a picture of us when we're at our worst, at our best, at our just everything we do is not splashed on. That said, he's so angry at the press. Yeah. It's Lindy. That's the layer. And I mean, when she had the boys, Susan, she was 36 when she died. Yeah, but when she had those boys, they were playmates basically. I'm not. She was a lovely mother. But 36 is so young, and those boys were so young. Um, yeah, I could see where he hated them because I don't think obviously I didn't know that he looked at I did not know that he looked at that file. And it not even connecting to him right away that they were flashes that were illuminating her. I can't imagine. And hey, and Beryl is here for me to tell us what we need to. I wish Beryl would come. Somebody would come up here. I don't. I was, and I will say this: I was incredibly disrespectful last week because I just kept not getting it right. I don't get it, and um, all opinions are absolutely accepted. I'm just, I was incredibly disrespectful because I just wanted you to come up here and explain it to me. I don't care why. I mean, I understand. Hey, Billy. Um, I understand why Alex Baldwin got so upset even before. Yeah, and then we've had Sean Penn. We've had people go right after the paparazzi. In fact, Harry here just did it. Hold on. What? Oh, hello, love.
Hello, how are
What are
you?
you doing?
I'm just got home.
Aw,
Yeah. So what do you want to know about this fool?
about which about Harry? About Harry?
Oh,
Which
the
one? Which fool?
Harry and Meghan, both of them.
I know people. They're very polarizing people.
Okay, I'm gonna suggest a really if you're interested in this royal stuff, there's a
Okay,
really I hate to bring other people's channels onto other people's channels,
do it.
but Lady Colin Campbell, Lady
Oh
C,
yes, I'm a fan of hers.
yeah,
She
that's a
hates
good
Harry.
person because she has an insight into that family through somebody. I don't know if maybe it's Anne or I haven't figured out who it is yet.
Yeah, because see, she's the one, Lady Collin. If y'all don't know who she is, she's a lady.
You need to bring her on your channel.
DJ, hello. And oh God, what did she? Oh, when the comment was made about wondering how dark Archie was going to be. Now, Lady Collin busted out that it was Anne that said it.
Uh,
I don't know if that's true. We might find out in this book, but I am not sure. But I remember her
no,
saying
it doesn't. It doesn't say in the book. It doesn't say.
it doesn't. I
No.
wish she would say it.
And
I
I don't
wish
know if
she
you went
would.
back and watched the interviews that he did here recently, but he claims that they never said anything about the royal family being racist.
That they never said it.
Yeah, Meghan never said that in the Oprah interview.
Oh,
That's
really?
that's what he's screaming now. Yeah. I
She's a nut job, Lady Collin. I
she is
saw
a
her
nut job.
on I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I watched her little things on that, Lindy, because
Oh,
she
Lady
was in
C's
that
a nut
damn.
job. Oh, I thought they were talking about Meghan.
Mm-mm.
Lady C's hysterical. I like
Yeah,
her.
there's a show in England, if you know this, called "I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here."
Yeah. I'm a
Yeah,
lawyer in
and she
England.
was
I'm a
on it.
solicitor, so I know.
She was on it.
Yeah.
I said,
Her
"There she
son
goes."
now has a pub there too. I guess he recently opened. I'd like to go to. But she's down more in the south of England and I'm more in the Midlands. So
So
um
never lose hope. It is like a lot of people who thinks that Diana's accident was not an accident. The fact that she said they were going to do it in a car, I think leans a lot. It makes you lean towards that so that Charles could remarry.
yeah.
Um, I mean, I can't put nothing past these people. I really can't. So I don't know.
Well, I've always leaned towards the fact that, I'm part Arab. So, some people don't like that. And I don't think the royal family wanted Arab blood running through the future king's bloodline. I mean, that doesn't look good to
Yeah.
them.
Hold on. Let me
I don't know if
see.
they necessarily consider that racist or not, but
Are
no,
y'all seeing?
let me
Wait a minute.
tell
Let me.
you, don't let Megan scream racism. Okay, please don't
Well,
ever
I'm
let
gonna
her
have to
do
go
that.
back and look because as I remember. Now, listen. As I remember it, right?
Mm-hmm.
She implied it when Oprah said what? When Oprah kept yelling what?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and let me see. Hold on. I gotta see who. Oh, she left. Hold on. Somebody left. Never mind. Let me get some comments here. You'd have to believe it was an accident. Listen, my children are. Oh, half Persian before they were born. Everyone was saying, "Oh, well, uh, I knew. I like. All right, so my husband does not know anything about any of this, right? I mean, he's a dude. He doesn't care. And we were talking one day because I think I was watching something in the living room, and he was just kind of there. And can you imagine now? Like I told him, can you imagine the Queen Mother, which she would never have been,
Mhm.
Diana, married to a Muslim? I mean, that's going to be cute. It wasn't.
Well, then there was the whole thing, was she pregnant?
Well, they say no, but
Yeah.
no wonder. Like I
Yeah.
said, you have, unfortunately, all we have to do, never lose hope. It's another channel. Oh, well, I need to get together with them. Never lose hope. I have so much fun doing this, and I love it because I'm reading this book anyway. And so if people want to come and talk about it, that's fine with me. Harry's flat out said she's an American. Well, I remember. Fine, let me put it in this drawer. I remember, and I think it might have been on. It wasn't The Crown, but it was some movie, and it was about the royal family, and I think, and it might have even been back in like this might even have been back in Victorian times.
Mhm.
But I think one of the Prince of Wales were dating an actress, and their father said, "We don't marry
That was
actresses."
Andrew. He was dating Koo Stark.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Hey, Jenny, I knew it was somebody. That was
Yes.
Philip talking to Andrew. We don't marry actresses. We have an affair with actresses.
Yeah. Well, I
Is
think this
basically
year
what
is
he
going to
said.
be a big revelation for that entire family. It's going to be kind of make or break, I think. This is just
Yeah.
my insight now.
Now, do you
A
think
lot's going to be
Charles?
coming out. I mean, there's something big that's supposed to be coming out big on Megan.
Um,
I heard it's some pornographic stuff,
yes. Um.
but we'll see.
Oh
Um,
Lord, it's
and the Markles are making their own documentary too now.
I don't care nothing about them. I will tell you why.
I think they're lying too, though.
Oh yeah, they lying. They're
Oh
lying,
yeah,
and
yeah.
like Megan said, and I believe she hadn't had a relationship with her sister in a lot of years because she was so much older. But the relationship she seemed to have had with her father in and I'm talking about the Netflix series. She admitted him. She had every other weekend. She saw him a lot. He was always there. Now I don't know what happened to him. I don't know if.
No, he raised her all through high school.
So that's
Doria
what I
was,
thought too, and it
yeah,
didn't
Doria was
match
gone
up.
for a number of years, and they're trying to figure out if she was in prison or not. So, but see, there's a lot of, they're real litigious people, so they'll keep you
Yes,
litigated in
ma'am.
court forever. You got to be real careful. But once you get into that book more, and since you're in the Eaton part,
Yeah,
look into where he calls that one woman Pat. He calls her just terrible names.
yeah. I know
Did,
they ain't know that.
did you read that part yet?
Yeah, because I'm past Eden right now. Right now he is been denied going to. He can't go to Iraq, and he is floating around doing stuff in Africa, and then he's just gone back to the commanding officer and said, "You got to do something with me. I can't just not do anything." And
Well,
that's as
there's
far as I've
there's more, a
gotten.
lot more to this. Him going into the army because he was on drugs. He never
Yeah,
took a urine test.
yeah.
Um,
He admits it in here.
yeah, and he's still on drugs.
Yeah. Oh well,
Yeah,
maybe,
he's
maybe.
still on drugs.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Could be.
Well, that's my
I
opinion.
was thinking a little disappointed.
Um,
You
but
know what,
yeah, there's a
CJ?
lot of concerns I have. I don't want to have to pay for their security. I already pay
Oh,
taxes over there and pay for that royal family. I'm just kind of over that whole thing. I mean,
well,
they're
see, I
not.
think
I think it
that's
should just be dropped down to William and Catherine and let them take over because everybody else is just so messy. They're just
it's
messy.
my opinion. I really thought very poorly. I mean, I loved William before. The thought of him and Catherine and the beautiful children, and they are so down to earth and not like the Queen, which they grew up in different times. She grew up and like I think I even told my daughter, I said, I hope I live to see him king, which I probably will, but I mean, I hope I do anyway. Um, and then when I read the forward of this book is when it just broke my heart. But I did not know. Here's what they do in the forward of this book. He keeps calling him Harold. William keeps calling Harry Harold.
That's his real name, Harold. Yeah.
No, it's not. It's
It's
not.
not?
It's Henry.
Oh, Henry.
Harold is
Yeah,
a
yeah,
pet
you're right.
name.
You're right. Henry. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Henry, and
Yeah.
he calls him Willie. 'Cause it's Willie. And
Yeah.
so when he's calling him Harold, I thought, how that's just so horrible. That your brother is giving, laying his out for you. You call him by his, given name. Then I realized it was a a name,
Like a nickname or something.
an endearment. It's an
Okay.
endearment.
Okay.
But then I thought, okay, William. And then, like I said, went through Eaton, and William said, "You don't know." Thank you, Jenny. I love you. Said that, you don't know me, I don't know you. But then I had to keep going in my mind. These are children. Eaton is high school.
Yeah.
If y'all don't know, it's the equivalent of our high school. It's the best school on earth, probably, high school wise. And they are very strict, and they are very, their policies still go back to the 1600 or whatever, and they're like, that's why they wear mourning attire, because Henry, one of the Henrys opened it, so I can't remember now. King Charles donated hundreds of millions to the British public through profits. Oh, from his work, his windmills. Are you talking about that? The windmill? Because Prince Charles has been, on the forefront of green living and whatnot for 40 years.
Yeah.
He's been doing it. Like, there's all of it. And did you know? And I know this just from stuff. He has his own food brought to, like, if they were going to have Christmas at Balmoral or wherever, he would put on a train all of the food from his own farm.
Yeah. No,
And
you
have
can
it
buy
all
his stuff in the
put up
stores
there.
over there too.
Well, I mean, listen, if I could have my radish besides, instead of a Kroger's radish, I'm going to want mine. So
Yeah.
I thought that was just interesting that he does that. He's very set in his ways. Harry said that you could he's down to the wire. Like, his every move, because
Mhm.
you know that at 8:00, you're going to hear him coming down the hall, going down to dinner. You know that he's going to stop in he's just very regimented.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
I
I don't think the whole family's a bad deal. I
no.
know Andrew's getting, I think, ready to fight that thing with that Virginia Guthrie again, though.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
when you plead no
So there's a
contest
lot of
or
interesting
something,
things in the family going on, I think, that are going to be revealed this year. That was my point.
I think that the queen has been gone long enough for people to have, you would think they would have geared up already and had the button ready to push right as soon
Yeah. Yeah.
But probably I think so many people did respect her that maybe they let's just, plus it was so much going on with Harry and Meghan. Maybe it was just better not to muddy the waters, because if you want your bomb to muddy the waters, you don't want to get in already muddy waters, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't know, Sam.
Yeah. Well,
It's-
it sounds like to me everybody in that family is jealous of each other, and they've
I
all
think
got to have the best stories out on them. I mean, I would just hate to live in that family. I just think it would be awful.
I think, well, no, like I was saying before, the thought of you can't go out to the mailbox, you can't go to school, you can't make a mistake, because if you make a mistake as a kid, it's going to be in the front page.
It is, yeah, exactly.
50 plus years. I thought so, Lindy. I thought I was safe at 40, but he is a very intelligent man.
Who, King Charles?
Yeah, he's a very intelligent man. I mean, I remember they built some kind of atrocious, horrible modern building, and this was years ago. Hey, Holden Dean, and Prince Charles was absolutely pissed off because it ruined the skyline. It ruined the ancient skyline. They put up this piece of crap. He hated it.
I don't remember
34th
all
Street
that.
is Biltmore Estate here in Asheville. Charlie Son Spear. Do you know who's coming to Asheville in March?
I am.
You are,
I am.
because we're coming to Asheville, people. I can't remember the dates. I don't do dates, but we're coming. We are coming. I think the house was reserved today.
Well,
So
anyhow, I wanted to tell you, I do love your book club. I hope you continue it, and I hope you continue on with the royal family because I think
oh,
you'd really grow a big
yeah,
group of people with that.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna I hope William's busy writing. William's not gonna write me a book. I have a feeling he's not going to, but I just don't think
But
he will.
maybe even you can get Lady C on here. I know she goes on other people's channels,
She
so
is so
she is funny.
She's
Yeah,
the way I want to be when I'm her age. I want to
yeah,
be
right.
just like that.
Yeah, I told her when I grow up, I wanted to be like her too.
I do. I want a martini in one hand, I want to be her.
Yeah.
So, but I appreciate that you came up and
Okay.
gave me some insight because I really don't have it. I don't,
Well, you have to read more than just that book, and you've had to kind
yeah.
of follow her from the beginning and see all the friend. I mean, there's, they have a new term now. I guess it's actually supposed to be put in the dictionary, being markled.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the chick's off her rocker. I'm telling you, she's batshit crazy. So that's my terminology.
She's
I use,
marveled.
not the channels. But yeah, I mean, she's in that case. So just stay tuned. I think a
I
lot of stuff
will.
is going
No,
to come out this
I'm
year.
glued to these two. I am glued to these two. All right. They ain't shaking my fat ass for nothing on earth.
Yeah.
I'm with them. All
All
right,
right,
man.
Shannon. Thank you so
Thank
much, and I'll
you.
see you tonight
I love
on
on
Savage.
Savages. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
We're gonna
baby.
fuck it up
Take
Monday.
care.
All right.
Bye
Take
bye.
care. Thank you. That was very helpful. I cannot thank you enough, Pia, for doing that because I don't understand it. Has a British, where did have been Queen Anne? Has Queen just read it because it's really kind of good. Poor Shannon, you're gonna be all over the place with this book. I've been all over the place with this book. Oh, the what? Tally. Don't make me go over and get my books on damn Wallace Simpson. That pig. Don't make me go do it. I've got 3 books over there on Wallace Simpson. That pig. Don't get me started. Warrior Grandma, hello. How are you? Happy Monday. Hope everybody is doing good. Yeah, so with this book so far, I've been very up and down. I'm telling you. What Wallace is another one. That Philadelphia piece of shit. It made me so angry when I watched The Crown and they showed her being loving to David or Edward or whichever you want to call him. No, she won't. No, she won't. No, she won't. Oh, don't make me. I'll go to that one next. What did that? Because every book on Wallace Simpson is absolutely huge. Do you want to know why? Because she was a pig. That's why. They are all this big. Yes, Wallace, we can do it, Tally, because I've got them over there. I got to make some notes. I probably have notes in them. I'm the type of person, like I said, I'm going to show you what I do. When I go to the beach every year, I go to the Gay Dolphin and I get these postcards, right? And I haven't, I don't always use them as bookmarks. I get about, maybe 5, 10 and use them as bookmarks. And then when I have write something down, I write it down over here. And y'all do know, I'm still using envelopes for Harry. But I will take notes and I will take notes. And I never really understood why I was taking notes because it's like I've been out of school. There's no book report. But I would just write it down and I don't know, commit it to memory. There's one thing in this book that really has happened so far, and it is his best friend Henner's the Gay Dolphin is Nene. I will listen. Nene, you want to know where I'll be in August? I will be in Myrtle Beach at the Roxanne Towers. It is 5 blocks from the Gay Dolphin. I think maybe 6. Not sure. I can't count. I can read, but I can't count. But his best friend, Henner's died, which is his nickname. And it was they were at a house party and they were just gonna go Harry wasn't with him. Harry was somewhere else. And they were getting ready. The sound equipment at some house party was horrible. So yes. And they jumped in the car to run down to somebody's house to get a new CD player because CDs at the time. And they hit a tree at just 20 miles an hour. And he was killed. And him and Harry and William went to the funeral, and did all that. And I thought to myself, I don't think there's one of us out there in our younger days that you got your envelopes finally. I know, right, Ben? That has it. I can remember not a best friend, but friends in high school and after high school having stupid accidents, just stupid accidents, and they're gone. And um, he also talked about this diamond. Let me hold on. I'm gonna show you this diamond. Here it is. Let's see. Can y'all see it? All right. So the diamond on top of that, on top of this crown, right? And you see, I don't know if y'all can see where I'm pointing. That's what is it? Kohinoor diamond, Kohinoor diamond, and that was I think that was probably on the Queen's, but Harry talked about it being on the Queen Mothers, because the Queen Mother and Princess Margaret died very close to each other. I can't remember which year. I think Margaret died first, and then the Queen Mother. But there's that diamond up there. All right, is so. I want to say it's haunted. It's got so many, men have fought and died for that diamond, right? And it's now like kind of cursed. So only females can wear that crown. Males can't do it because it curses them. But the women can. I thought that was pretty interesting. I thought, well, all right. That you learn stuff in this every day. which diamond does Africa want back? It might be that one. It might be that one. I don't think they're gonna get it. They're gonna have to come pull it out. I'm trying to read my little writing here. I don't want to forget anything. Let me see. So, because I didn't really want to go over stuff, because I don't know how. Thank you, P. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. I didn't want. I don't want to go through and like ruin stuff for you. I mean, like, I think we all basically know what's going to be in this thing. I don't want to get any details out there that you don't have. I just want to kind of talk about the major feelings we're still having. My William count is going up. I think he's a pretty good brother. Or was a pretty good brother. I don't know about now. I think they were very close. They grew closer. There was one part where I think Harry went into the army a couple of weeks before William did. And there's something called a passing out ceremony. And his grandmother came, because that's like that when they graduate basic. And they when Harry his thing went by, William had to salute him because he was, under. He was Harry was his senior in this thing, and he said, "Finally, the heir saluted the spare." I mean, so yeah, he did. He was actually a pilot. He's actually, I think, for helicopter pilot. Yeah, they all have to serve. It's my understanding. Is that all of Queen Elizabeth's children served. Like I said, even Anne, I just can't remember exactly. I don't think she's an honorary member of anything, but I might be wrong about that. I don't know. But all of her boys did. And that's one of the things that you have to give back to your country. And I tolerate will to this book now, really. But you will, Nene. It depends on how far you are. You will. You will. If you're like you will. I thought I said before, we needed to have a little graph point, like every couple of days when you're reading the book, make a graph point at 5 being neutral, how you felt about Harry, William, and Charles. Oh, you finished it today? Okay, so you're ahead of me. Oh, that means I'm not going to like him either. I'm not going to like him either. I want to like everybody. I want everybody to be happy. I want Charles to get those boys together and say, listen, you two idiots, stop it. Because in the long run, it's all you got is your family. That's all you have in this world. About them, that's what I think too. But like I said, they put on a good show, and I have William served in the air ambulance, right? Yeah, he in a helicopter, right? Well, bigger than that, probably helicopter. Yeah, they serve. They're good boys. They're good boys. This thing has taken me on a trip, though. It really has. I've been on it is such a ride, this book. It is such a ride. Hey, Jenny. I just started the book because I thought I would. Well, it's a good one. That's all I'm saying. It's a good one. It is. I mean, you find out a lot. You've kind of fallen in love and out of love with people as it goes. What last night, it was so funny when I was with my grandmother, and I just read a little bit of the book where he had been Harry had been summoned, right? Not to the palace, but no, to the palace actually during one of his dope field nights. And in our family, I have 5 cousins. No, 4 cousins. They're boys. I'm the only girl. And when we got the call from our grandmother, if the call didn't start out cheery and wonderful, it turned into absolute terror. She wouldn't get on you on the phone. She wouldn't get on you on the phone. No, no, no. She called you and you had a meeting. We had a meeting. You had to come have a meeting. And if it wasn't around a mealtime, I'm saying this is how you prepared yourself for the gravity of what was getting ready to happen. Now, if it wasn't around a mealtime, right, then you knew this was going to be really bad, and you usually knew why. You knew why. And I can remember one such meeting, and it was very common when it was like Carrie's. My grandmother found out the extent of my use of drugs, and she had this flower bed on the side of her carport. And so we walked over there, and I knew this was going to be bad. I knew it. And she was working, pulling the weeds and shit like that. And she wasn't saying anything. And so making you stand there even longer was her way of, I don't know what. I don't know what. And so we had the conversation, and she asked me questions that I knew damn well not to lie about because I knew she knew. My cousin Terry was a cop here in town. So I knew. He knew, right? And I didn't think he would tell. But I was rather in a hole there. And so so much so that my cousin Terry ratted me out, thank God. And so we had the talk. I did not deny anything. I fessed up to everything. We made definite plans of what was going to happen. And at the end of the conversation, she said to me, I'll cry when I hear it. Wait a minute. At the end of that conversation, she said, I love you, Shannon, and if I have to bury you, it will kill me. Don't make me bury you. And I thought, you won't. Your grandmother saying that to you, burying you will kill me. Please don't kill me. It made me love, took all the love I had for her, and I had to throw it on myself finally. Oh, I'm good. I'm sorry. It just changed my life. That end of that sentence, it didn't, all the stuff that happened before that mattered, but the end of that sentence right there changed my life. And so, and he, mine is still around. I mean, my grandmother can, yeah, I know I'm here and I'm good. And she loved me so much that she made me love myself, because that's the only reason you can really get over and conquer these things is when you love yourself. I thought I'm worth it. Somebody thinks I'm worth it. And so anyway, when you, like when they go with Harry, I felt so, I think we all remember him standing there. He'd been stripped of his medals, which I don't understand, because you earned those medals. I don't understand why he was that. He did that. They let him have him when he was doing. They were doing the standing at her grave for. I can't believe I didn't snotted up here and cried. It's so stupid. I'm so sorry. Yeah, she made me think. That's true. And I think about how important my family is, and I can't imagine being torn from them. That's the thing with maybe this book is upsetting. I don't, because I know how it's going to end. I know how this is going to end, and it's not going to end well. And I can't imagine not having. I don't have my dad. I mean, he has never been a part of my life, so it's not like that. But when you have one parent and you're estranged from them and you're having babies and they're making these milestones and you're not sharing them with them. Like his grandmother didn't get to see his children. Or maybe he got to see Archie. She got to see Archie. I don't know. I'm sorry. I can't believe I did that. It's just the power of those words. When I'm standing there, I'm 23, 24. I can't remember how old I was. I just can remember that's the day the shit stopped. Period. When I found out my son had smoked, wacky back. I lost my life coming. Yeah, I mean it's so scary. When there's nothing you can do about your child, there's nothing they won't. There's nothing you can say to them that makes them, it's like you want to smack him in the brains and say, "What is wrong with you?" I felt one day he will regret leaving his family. I think he will. I think he will. You grew up watching them more. Yeah, I grew up watching them too. And they have such a what they call it over there banter. But their banter is hilarious. I know that when they announced that Harry was going to get married, they asked William, right, how do you feel? He said maybe he'll stop coming into my house and getting my food out of the refrigerator, because they lived in Kensington Palace, so they had apartments, and Harry would go over theirs when they weren't there and get their food. And I thought that's typical, brothers. That's typical. There you go, Lindy, and that's God. I always say sometimes God just steps in and says, "All right, I'm gonna solve this for y'all." I mean, he has for maybe he gives us the words. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I wish I did know. I don't know. But thank God he's a fine young man. I bet he is. I bet he is. Lost all my grandparents. Susan, I would be so lost because my family is so important. Listen, I did not have a dad, right? I had a single mother who married a jerk for a little while. And my brother and my sister weren't near me. They were my dad's, and they were in Arkansas. And, and so I made sure all I wanted was a family. Some people want to be rock stars. Some people want to be actresses. I wanted a family and a house and laughing and breakfast and, washing clothes and, oh shit, what are we going to have for dinner? And kids running around. That's all I wanted. That's all I wanted. And I didn't understand. I didn't know what everybody was supposed to do because I didn't have that father figure. I didn't know what a husband and a dad was supposed to do. So, but I finally got it. And I have built this family that, you could set an atomic bomb in the middle of us and we'll be fine. It's my masterpiece. It's my Oscar. It's my Pulitzer Prize. It's my everything. That I have these humans that and little grand humans, and we are close and we are unbeatable together, and we enjoy each other. I lived my dream, man. I live in my dream. Living my dream. But that's not here nor there. I'm going to end this because I've cried. It was just stupid. Now I've got a snotty nose. So we'll do it again next week. Maybe like Sunday at 4 or 5, so more people from the UK can get in here. Lindy, I appreciate you giving us your opinion on all of you. Yeah, that's mine. I always caught the wrong one. I appreciate y'all coming in here and listening to us. Thank you. Thank you, Jen. I don't do that, but thank you. We'll keep reading the book. We'll our opinions are going to change to this. I got a feeling our opinions are going to change. So I just met my first grandson the other day with an unbelievable feeling. Gina, it's all right. Before I go, here's when I had my daughter, my first child, I looked at her, literally still gross from, birth. And I thought, oh, I would kill for her. It's the first thing that I remember thinking, before you think, oh, she's never kill anybody. I'm looking at this nasty little thing, and I'm like, I would kill for you. That's a new feeling. And then, other children come and you get this exact same feeling. And then I thought, okay, well, I mean, everybody tells you how great grandchildren is. So my first grandson, when I was there and he was born, and I was like, oh shit, I'll kill for you. I didn't expect it to hit another. Go Razorbacks, yeah. I didn't expect that murderous love to go to the second generation, but it does. It really does. I got 3 grandsons that are funnier than any comedian on earth. I'm telling you, they're absolutely hysterical. Wreck this girl. All right, I'm going to go. I'll see you on Savages in a little while. I don't know what's happening. I don't know any of the drama. I'll find out as y'all do. And I just love you all. And thank you so much. And, I love you, and I will see you very, very soon. Thank you. Next Sunday, I'm going to do it around 4-ish, I think. 4-ish. Get more people in here from the UK. Get up here and talk to me. Pia, thank you so much. Thank you so much in the comments. Love you all. Okay, bye. Bye, Earth. See you in a little while.